Alright, well, it's been a while since I've streamed or posted to this account, and I feel like I should not neglect it. It's something that I want to keep going and be a little bit more activist with. As you know, there are issues that have gone on in my life that are not unique to me at all. And unfortunately, with my situation, I've got a child who's a teenager now, and he's completely enabled, and I would almost dare say encouraged, to not have a relationship with me. The sad part of it is that I'm furious with my family, and he loves his grandmother so much, even though she wasn't there to raise him, to, change his diaper, take him to the doctors, all the things that you do as a parent. Get up in the middle of the night, go meet with the teachers. She was always the one who told him everything's going to be okay, even when he was really wrong and needed to have a learning or teaching moment. So, obviously, I don't want to ever see her again, nor my brother, who has enabled himself to be a self-righteous, white knight, if you will. He thinks that he's rescued my son from a lifetime of abuse or some craziness, So, that being said, the more that I have anger for my family, for their involvement and what they've done, doesn't do well for my relationship with my boy, because he just gets more mad at me because I'm angry at them. It's a terrible loop that the government should never have chartered and endorsed. Regardless, that's the world within I live. So, I'd like to actually start learning about more folks that are in similar situations and try to put together a group, or heck, even just discuss, the anger and frustration of betrayal, losing a child, especially when they're a teenager, where you're supposed to have that anguish of separation. The child's supposed to be doing their talk back in rebellion. That's a normal way of life. I understand that. But for a grandparent to to capitalize and make it an opportunity for them to wedge themselves between the child and the parent, it's unbelievable. But it's not a mountain, I think, that a child can overcome, because you know how right you always felt when you were a kid? I know I did. Instead of being able to have people push back and say, that's not the right way to handle that, or, you do need to have some type of repercussions for not doing your homework, or not cleaning around the house, or just telling your father, no, I don't need to listen to you. So that's, when you have that, you become your own master. At 16. It's terrible. So, that's kind of not going to be able to go anywhere for me. Obviously, I've got my wages garnished by my own mother. She took me to court for child support as soon as she got custody of my kid. And once I came back from the hospital from therapy with depression, suicide thoughts, that type of thing, that's what I was welcomed to when I came home. So, anyways, you guys know the story on that. There are a lot of single parents out there that face this type of situation. I'm not the only one. I would love to hear back from some of you folks. For me, talking about it helps me. It's not as much of a healing as it is a coping mechanism, because I have all of this blah of negativity and nastiness that I have and resentment at my parents that it just, if I don't vent it, you know, it's liable to come out at a bad time. I obviously don't discuss it with my child at all. Last time, I just told him that what they did was criminal because he was telling me he could have had me thrown in jail. It's just sick. So that, well, obviously, I lost my weekend visit. As you know, I went from having my boy every waking moment to being a thug of a parent, according to my family and my mother's attorney, who would be incapable of taking care of a child. So I get to see him every other weekend, and then I get to pay for my parents to go to dinner and vacation, buy him a car, you know, that type of thing. So obviously I don't want to have that happen again. So I'm going to be venting a little bit here on my channel. I would certainly hope that this could be an opportunity, if there are other folks that need to vent, feel alone, and have no one, which certainly is how I felt. I needed an outlet. I wanted to offer this channel as an outlet. So if you want, you can always message me. Put comments in the inbox. And that's another thing. My inbox was trolled by my idiot brother. And then, of course, he shows the content to my son, who is turning into a professional victim. And using my feelings to justify his negativity. So I blocked both of them. I thought I could just leave them on, just so I could show how much of an ass my brother was, which I think his comments may still be there. And I hope you get a chance to read them. The guy has never witnessed abuse, never called, never anything. He didn't pick up the phone to say, hey, look, I have some questions or issues. None of that. All that was behind the scenes. He's a fucking asshole. So, but I had to block him because it was just more negativity. And obviously, in a fledgling channel like this, I don't want this to be overrun by the asshole. I want this to be something that can grow into positivity. So, I am going to try to change my tone and inflection about this and just try to discuss a little more openly things that I'm able to discuss, since I do have friends now that are in similar situations. Maybe even have them on for a discussion, or with their permission, kind of throw out there what situations that were similar to mine but unlike mine that people go through. I feel this is an area that needs to be reformed, especially with government and policing being involved over family disputes, especially over fathers who were single dads, who worked so hard to raise their child and give them everything they had, for that to be so easy for them to take the child away.